We can learn a lot from nature. Millions of years of evolution have created some very impressive animals. In the last few hundred years, humans have started to build on natural habitats, meaning that encounters with wild animals was inevitable. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at 3 wild animal encounters. Mick Fanning encounters a great white shark. In July 2015, Australian surfer Mick Fanning was competing in the surfing competition, Jeffreys Bay. This major competition, also known as J-Bay Open, was being held on the Eastern Cape of South Africa. It was the final day of the competition, and it had just begun when Fanning felt something get stuck in his leg rope. He tried to kick it away and was promptly thrown off his surfboard and fell into the water. All he was able to see were fins. He had been knocked into the water by a great white shark. Fanning explained that he was paralyzed with fear, as he couldn't see anything except for shark fins. Although scared, he managed to punch the shark in the back and startle it. The shark seemed more interested in hitting the surfboard than attacking the surfer. He luckily escaped injury as the rescuers on jet skis were immediately there to rescue him and his competitor, Julian Wilson. That entire summer of 2015 had seen a high number of shark attacks, yet the competition was still held. The 3-time world champion was participating in the competition to defend his title. The entire encounter was shown live on camera during the tournament. As he prepared to ride a wave, his family could only watch in horror as they all realized he was swimming next to a large shark. Immediately after Fanning's encounter, the tournament was cancelled. Shark experts and scientists explained that Fanning did everything right during his shark encounter. He put the surfboard in between him and the shark as a buffer. He avoided its mouth and teeth, struck the shark on the back to startle it away, and then moved back towards the shore. Scientists say that sharks respect power, so you need to hit it hard if you ever encounter one. Punch it somewhere sensitive, such as the nose, gills, or eyes. They will most likely swim away instead of retaliating like other animals. Most of the time, experts believe sharks are either just curious or have confused people in the water for seals or other prey. Sharks rarely bite humans intentionally. Australia has the highest number of unprovoked shark attacks in the world, followed by the United States of America and South Africa. Great white sharks are involved in a large number of those, especially in California, where they make up the majority of shark bites. Despite this, data suggests that a surfer in California has a 1 in 17 million chance of being bitten by a shark in their waters. South Africa is well known for its great white shark population. Their waters are probably the most shark-infested in the entire world as they hunt seals off the coast. It also happens to be one of the best areas in the world for surfing. Todd and the grizzly bear. Todd is probably one of the luckiest men still alive. He managed to survive not 1 but 2 grizzly bear attacks from the exact same bear, all in the span of 15 minutes. In 2016, Orr was hiking through Madison Valley in Montana to look for elk when he suddenly stumbled upon a grizzly bear and her cubs. She immediately charged at him full speed and jumped on top of him. He managed to get his bear spray out and use it, but it was unfortunately ineffective. While it usually helps deter and protect against aggressive bears, she was determined to protect her cubs. She quickly bit Orr on his head and arm before getting off him and walking away with her cubs into the woods. He was able to get up and began jogging back to safety where his car was parked 3 miles away. As he was running to safety, she attacked him again. He had unfortunately moved in the same direction she had previously gone with her cubs, so she mauled him once more. She bit his arms and his shoulder again, this time lifting him up with each bite. She then stood over him until she no longer perceived him as a threat. He laid still with his face down to convince her she and her cubs were safe until she eventually left, and Orr managed to hike back to his car and drive himself to the hospital. When he got to his car, he first took photos of himself and sent it to his friends, as well as filming a brief video where he explained what just happened to him. he drove to the hospital where he underwent a few surgeries for his broken arm and head wound. The next morning, he posted his video to Facebook, where it managed to go viral and to be seen by over 35 million people within the first 24 hours. Orr made a full recovery, and when he was finally able to, he immediately went right back to hiking and hunting. Orr's survival was due in part to his knowledge of bears and bear attacks. He brought along bear spray and handguns. He would make loud noises every so often to avoid surprising an animal. He knew that bear spray was more effective at stopping a bear charge than a gun, but unfortunately the bear was too determined and ignored the spray. His backpack also helped protect his body from obtaining serious injuries. He knew to lay face down in a fetal position, remain calm and still, and cover his neck and vital organs. Grizzly bears attack when they are startled or to defend their young cubs from perceived danger. So if you show that you are no longer a threat, they'll be satisfied and leave. Grizzlies are one of the most dangerous animals on the planet and are extremely aggressive, but fatal attacks rarely happen. You are more likely to be struck and pass away by lightning than by a bear. Bill Haast, the Snake Whisperer. Since he was a young boy, Bill Haast extracted venom from dangerous snakes. As an adult, he was the owner and operator of the Miami Serpentarium from 1947 to 1984. At this tourist attraction, he would extract venom from 500 deadly snakes they owned in front of his paying customers as an attraction or show. He would put on a show of letting the snake free and then catching it with his bare hands. He then would extract the venom by holding the head of the snake and forcing them to bite through a thin rubber membrane over a vial. As they bit into it, they would release the venom into the container. He put on this entertainment probably 100 times a day. He suffered from over 175 snake bites throughout his life, earning a Guinness World Record for many of them. He began to inject himself with various snake venom in order to build up an immunity to them. He was quite successful with it, as he rarely required treatment when he suffered bites from cobras and green mambas. He began supplying venom to medical researchers at nearby universities. They used it to experiment on polio treatments and other diseases. He even flew around the world to donate his blood over 20 times to help treat snakebite victims when an antivenom was unavailable. He received an honorary citizenship to Venezuela after he traveled far into the jungle to help save a boy. In September of 1977, a 6-year-old boy fell into the crocodile pit and promptly ended the boy's life. The crocodile that took the boy's life had lived there for nearly 20 years without any incidents. Haast was distraught and suffered extreme mental trauma, so he eventually closed the tourist company. Although the parents did not blame him, he refused to house any more crocodiles and shut down the Serpentarium. He instead opened the Miami Serpentarium laboratories and continued to produce snake venom for medicinal and research purposes. In 1990, he began to suffer tissue damage in his hands due to the snake venom. One of his hands looked like a claw after an injury from an eastern diamondback rattlesnake. He eventually lost a finger after he was bit by a Malayan pit viper in 2003. He was also bit by a cottonmouth on the finger, quickly turning black, which he had his wife cut off with garden shears. After that, he no longer housed venomous snakes at his laboratories and stopped handling them. However, he did continue to inject himself with snake venom over the years. He claimed that he had handled more than 3 million snakes in his lifetime and that it was the snake venom that allowed him to live for so long. He injected venom from over 30 venomous snake species every day for more than 60 years. He lived to the age of 100 and passed away on July 15th, 2011. But what do you make of these wild animal encounters? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.